In a recent deposition that I was involved in, the defense kept circling back to one question, and that question was, when did this baby's brain injury actually happen? This is a severe HIE brain injured baby case, and you could feel that question in the room was something that was extremely important, and it really matters. Because once the defense can shift that timing, everything about responsibility in these types of cases, it can change. If they can convince people that the injury happened days or even weeks before labor, then the story becomes that no one could have prevented it, that it was already written before the mother arrived at the hospital. And like I said, nothing could have been done to change the outcome. But if the evidence shows that the injury happened during labor, now that focus, it begins to turn on the decisions that were made during labor and delivery in real time. The monitoring, the interventions, the timing of delivery, and whether the medical staff missed the signs that the baby was in danger, all of those types of things, they really are going to matter. And that's why timing it can be everything in an HIE brain injured baby case. It can decide whether a baby's injury was preventable or whether it was unavoidable. And when we investigate these cases, we spend a lot of time building that timeline from the ground up. We bring in OBGYNs to take a look at the fetal monitoring strips to see how the baby's heart rate changed as labor progressed. Was there distress that was missed, or were there patterns that showed that the baby's reserves were running out and the baby was running into problems? We bring in experts like neonatologists to take a look at the baby right after birth, the APGAR scores, the cord gases, how quickly resuscitation was needed, whether there were signs of a sudden oxygen loss or a longer problem that was ongoing. And then we'll bring in other experts like pediatric neuroradiologists to take a look at the MRI patterns to see whether the brain injury looks like it's something that was acute, or was it chronic, was it a mixed pattern, all of these types of things. Certain injury patterns can reveal whether the brain was damaged minutes before birth or whether it was a process that started during labor. All of this comes together like pieces of a puzzle. You gotta look at it like that. And the record, the medical records, the strips, all of these things are gonna matter. And on the other side of this, the hospitals, lawyers, they're going to be doing everything that they can to push that timeline, to push that injury further back in time. They may say that the MRI looks older, that the injury could not have happened during delivery, or they may claim that an infection or genetics played a role in causing the injury. But when we look at the baby's normal growth and normal head size for term gestational age, those types of things can tell a different story. They can show that the baby was developing normally during pregnancy, which doesn't necessarily fit that picture that the brain injury supposedly happened weeks before birth. And that's when the timing argument, where it can start to break down and the focus begins to shift back on what happened during labor when the baby was showing signs of distress and needed help sooner. These can be very technical arguments, but when the full medical picture is analyzed, the truth often can point back to the events during labor and delivery. And that's why plaintiffs' lawyers like myself, while we spend so much time up front investigating these cases, we have to make sure that the timing is supported by the medicine and the record, because hospitals will use every opening that they can to deny that the injury happened under their watch. For families, all of this can be painful to see how deep this investigation can go, but it's something that is necessary. The question of when holds the power to be able to reveal why your baby was injured and whether someone failed to act when they should have. So again, that is why these investigations, while we spend so much time on these investigations, they can take weeks into months to be able to allow us to have a good grasp as to the story and how the puzzle pieces fit with everything. Again, I'm Marcus Boston. If you have any other questions about your baby's HIE brain injury at birth or a subsequent CP diagnosis from a medical legal standpoint, don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. You can find out more information about me in my profile. My information is there. If you're watching this video on certain apps, you can send me a DM and we can chat a little bit about your baby story, or you can just wait and watch the picture that follows the end of this video. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Have a great day, everybody.